If you're an online course creator, an online coach, consultant, maybe you have an agency, this video is definitely for you. I'm going to break down the exact step-by-step process that I've used personally to build 3 online businesses to 6 figures all within inside a 6-month period. I'm going to give you the full breakdown from the start, from niche selection, the offer, the funnel itself, the Ascension model, all of the tools, materials that you need. So if you follow this video along, watch it over and over again, pause it, do it step by step. You'll be able to grow your very own online business to 6 figures inside a 6-month period, or even sooner, because I made a lot of mistakes along the way. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and I'm going to break this down on the iPad and show you step by step how I did this. So first things first is we are going to start with the offer. And offers are king when it comes to growing a business. Your offer builds out your marketing message, your offer builds out your ad campaigns, your offer builds out your email series, your headlines, no matter what it is. And one of the reasons why offers are so powerful is because it gives you the ability to subtly whisper in your market's ear rather than shouting across social media for attention. And the way to create a Godfather offer is to create certain pillars, and I'm going to explain these in a moment, and also to get data from your marketplace by asking powerful questions, market and research review calls, and speaking to people on a daily basis. Because when it comes to selling a product, especially online, we need to give people what they want first and then give them what they need later. So I'm going to start from the beginning with one of the first offers that I put out to the marketplace was when I was running a online fitness business. So to give you a bit of my background, I started off as a personal trainer when I was 20 years old. I'm 39 now. So for the last 19 years, I've been in the coaching space. And over that time, I've now moved on to helping other coaches, course creators, and consultants build a business as I have done in the past. But that's a different story. So when I decided to go online in 2019, I didn't want to be, jumping on a load of sales calls with people. I didn't want to be positioning a higher ticket offer. And this is going to be a surprise to you. I'm not against higher ticket offers, but I do things the reverse way, if that makes sense. I create an ascension model because how you've got to look at it is that there is this culture at the moment of high ticket. And don't get me wrong, high ticket sells. But the number one mistake that people make when it comes to selling a high ticket product is they just sell their high ticket product. And usually the reason why it falls down is because of a lack of know, like, and trust with their audience, a lack of clarity with their audience and certainty around their methods and how they take people from zero to hero. And another reason for this as well is that their product doesn't actually solve high ticket problems with high ticket solutions. And the deeper rooted the problem is of your prospects, of your market, then the higher the price can be and the fee for solving that problem. But people have different problems at different areas. And I'm going to explain why this is so important. So when it comes to creating an offer, there's 4 different types of offers that I recommend that you create inside of your business. So number 1 is a core offer. Number 2 is a premium offer. Then we have a Rolls Royce offer. And then number 4, which is king in my opinion, is continuity, which is monthly recurring revenue. This is like the ultimate goal for an online business, right? Because this is where you get cash flow. You can work out the LTV of a client, which is the lifetime value. You can work out where your churn is, and then you know what kind of holes in the bucket that are leaking out that you need to fill back up with water. So first things first, I'm going to explain the core offer, okay? So a core offer is like a minimal viable product that you have, right? So an MVP. And a minimal viable product could be anything from a lead magnet, a free community, a free course, an email series, or a low ticket product. And when I first started my online business in 2019, I went with a low ticket product. And I'm going to explain to you how I create the offer. I'm going to explain to you how I sold the offer and then scaled that business from 0 to 12K a month just inside of 6 months. And then that led to me starting other businesses using the exact same model. And I use this model every time I start a new business. I did this last year in February, and I'm going to be doing it again in the new year with another business that I'm starting. And you can literally steal this step-by-step process And you can make a start with this as soon as possible and start getting that first offer out. And the reason why I went with a core offer first, and the main reason for this is how you've got to look at it is that the majority, and I'm talking about like 99% of the people that are deemed as your competitors, they are doing the same tactics as you. They're sending cold DMs, they're doing cold outreach, cold calls, cold emails. When it comes to content, they're posting their offer. I'm looking for 5 people for this, 5 people for that, limited spaces, blah, 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 like it all goes on. And then they're running ads as well. And these ads are usually to go straight to an opt in page, then they watch a VSL, then they book a call. And the end goal of all of these methods, whether it's like warm or cold outreach, posting content with offers, or your offers to book a call through ads, is to get people to buy your high ticket product. But what ends up happening, and I've spoke about this before, is that if you're not great at selling, you're not great at overcoming objections. If there isn't a enough know, like, and trust from the person on the call, you usually get a load of objections on the call, like, can you pop it on an email? I need to speak to my partner. I need to think about it. Now's not the right time. And by just running this model only, you are only attracting around about the 2 to 3% of people that are ready to buy. And this is why it takes so much volume. And that volume takes a lot of manpower as well. And this could be potentially not just ruining your business, but your energy levels and your overall like enthusiasm for business. I was there before many, many years ago, just like badgering people all day, posting on social media, sending cold DMs, getting a load of objections. And when I finally booked a call, I would beat them into submission and try and take some money from them, right? I was like a hard closer, if that makes sense. And in my opinion, a hard closer is just a shit salesman, because it's not about trying to sell your products. It's about creating an environment that makes people feel like buying your products. I'll say that one more time. It's not about trying to sell your product. It's about creating an environment that makes people feel like buying your product. And we do that by leading with value. We do that by creating an ascension model. Because when it comes to someone buying your higher ticket product, and high ticket, I would say, is like $2,000 plus, so two, three, four, $5,000, is that when these people come up with these objections, the first objection is just a smoke screen. And if you're not well equipped to overcome these objections, then what's going to happen is that you're going to lose out on a lot of sales. And one of the main reasons for this is because of fear. The prospect is fearful, because the main purpose of a sales call is to take the prospect from a place of confusion to a place of excitement. And when they've got that excited emotion, then you've created that environment that makes them feel like buying. But it's very hard to create that excitement if you've just spoke to that person through a cold DM like 48 hours ago and now you're on a call. You've got just a small window of time to persuade that person and get them to believe in themselves. And if you haven't done that right, that's why you're gonna come up with all of these roadblocks, because they're going to say to you things like, I need to think about it, and so on. But what they really want to say is either, I don't trust you enough to deliver on your promise, or I don't trust myself enough to actually do the work. And it's one of the two. So it's never to do with money. It's never to do with like time and all that sort of stuff. Because how you got to think about it, if you're in the business of selling health, wealth, relationships, or happiness, 99% of the population, they want that. And if you're running ads at the moment, or you're running content on social media, you've got proof and testimonials that you can do what you said you would, taking people from zero to hero, then people that watch you daily, they want what you have to offer, but they just don't trust you enough yet. They haven't got enough clarity. They haven't got enough certainty, or they don't trust themselves enough to actually do the work. Because if you're running a business right now, you understand about the return of investment, the return of your time, that you need to speculate to accumulate. What you put in is what you get back. But your market potentially doesn't. They're not where you are right now. And if they're not where you are right now, then it's going to be quite hard for you to convince them to change their beliefs and change their behaviors. So there is another way to do this. And this all starts with a core offer. I actually got the core offer idea from a mentor of mine I had 7 years ago. So 7 years ago, I decided to embark on the journey of personal development. And the reason for this is because I'd worked as a personal trainer for years, but I developed a 10-year drinking problem. And when it came to me, ending self-sabotage and changing my habits, my beliefs, and becoming the man I am today, who, once was a binge drinking degenerate to now being, married. I've got a 3-month-old daughter. I've got a dog. We live in the UK, but next Wednesday, so it's the 13th of November now, we are moving to the island of Crete. And we're going to be residing in the Mediterranean to live our freedom dream life, right? And the only way that I got there was with his help. But I wasn't ready at the time to invest into his 6K a year program. And the reason for that is that I didn't trust myself enough to do the work because I was here and I perceived all of his clients and the work to be up here. It just seemed too much for me. Okay. And if he would have DM'd me and got me on a call and said, Russ, like, we've gone through all your pains, gone through your problems. Do you agree that we can get you the result? I'd be like, yes, yes, yes. And then he would have said, right, to join my mastermind is 6K. I would have come up with all of the BS smoke screens. Like, I need to think about it. Can I speak to my partner? And at the time when I was thinking about working with him, if that would have happened, I would have had the money to spend because I was working as a personal trainer. I was making about 4 to 5K a month and I had some savings, but I had these pots of money. And these pots of money that I had, they were leaking out into my lifestyle and they were leaking out to what I currently valued. Like, if you want to understand someone else's values or understand your own values, just look at the last 12 months of your calendar and look at the last 12 months of your bank statements, right? And where you spend most of your time, your energy, your money, and your focus is where your values lie. And at that time, 7 years ago, all of my money was going on my expensive car to impress others, was going on expensive clothes to impress others, was going on dopamine hits like drinking alcohol. I was smoking at the time. I was buying takeaway food. I was just going on expensive dinners and dates and things like that. And all of that money was leaking out because that's where my values currently were. So I would have been one of those people that you get on a call, and I sometimes used to get on a call where they say I need to think about it, but it's really a lie, it's a smokescreen. But what this guy did, who was my mindset mentor for 5 years, so you can see where the story goes, he had a core offer. So he had this audio book, and I downloaded this audio book for free, and it was to teach men how to end self sabotage. And I was like, this is quite close to me. Because what you have to think about is that you need to meet people at their current level of pain and discomfort. You meet them where they're at right now, because people have different types of problems. Okay, and I'll explain this on the screen. So there's 3 different levels of problem, right? So people have 3 different levels of problem. So people have like pebble problems, they have rock problems, and they have boulder problems. Boulder. There we go. If I've spelled that right. And people have boulder problems, right? And if you don't have a program that caters to any of these, then you're not going to be able to convey your offer very well. Because a pebble problem program could be something like $99 and could be like a 4 to 6 week period. And then your rock problems could be your like 2K plus, which could be like 90 days to 6 months. And then you've got your mastermind, which could be, say, like 10K plus. And that could be a yearly fee or every 6 months or whatever it may be. But if you meet most of your market at the pebble problems, there's a bigger pond of these, a bigger pond. What am I trying to say? A bigger, yeah, there is a bigger pond, but there's more fish in it, if that makes sense. So there are more people that have the pebble problems. So, like, for example, now I run a company called the Leadership Lab, and we help coaches, course creators, consultants, like create financial freedom by upgrading their business skills, their systems, their funnels, and also their identity. And we have a program where, we go all in and we do a done with you service, a done for you service. And we, help with all your systems, all your funnels, embedding all of your pixels. We do all your automations and everything else. And we help you build a team, a sales team, and help you with your purpose driven work. But this is like a bolder problem, right? And not a lot of my market are here yet. Most of my market are just starting out and they want to make their first like 1K a month online, right? Want to make their first 1K a month online. So I have to have a product that's available for this person. And then once they're making their first, say, 1K online, then I need to have another program That then deals with the rock problems. Because once you start to solve the pebble problems, the rock problems start to get exposed. And by exposing those, you can then create another offer to upsell. Because if you keep giving your clients and your market what they want, they're going to continue to pay you. That's how you create value, by giving them what they want. And by what they want, it solves a problem. Because if they don't solve the problem, they're going to be in pain, and nobody likes to be in pain. And people are more motivated to avoid pain than they are to gain pleasure. Okay. And that's a lesson for later. So then once we've kind of done that, then we need to build out systems, for example. We might need to build out a few funnels and a few automations. And then when it's the big rock, like the boulders, this is more about team building and working on their mindset as an entrepreneur, meaning that you don't chase goals, you don't chase business outcomes, you don't chase money, you chase the character and identity could handle it with ease. Because this is why people have like fluky months. And what I mean by fluky months, if you don't understand my terminology, I'm from the UK, is they just have this like winning month where they've done like 20, 30K in their business. And then 6 months later, they're back down to 5 to 10K. And the reason for that is that they haven't upgraded themselves to be able to handle it. Like the great Jim Rohn once said, is that, if you was to become a millionaire overnight, you best start acting and thinking as a millionaire so you get to keep the money. So going back to my original point is that if you, going back to when I was with my coach, I was on his email list after downloading his audiobook. And on his email list, he kept emailing me daily. I kept reading his emails and they're very entertaining. And he was building that know, like, and trust with me. And then all of a sudden he said, we're starting a brand new program. And it's going to be a 28-day program. And it's called Unstoppable 28. And it's going to help you end self-sabotage plus a few bonuses. And it's only $99. And I was like, well, I could probably spend $99. Even though I had more money to spend, I just didn't value myself enough to do so. So I invested into that program. And by investing into that program, I invested into his world. And over those 4 weeks, he rocked my socks off. He changed my habits. He changed my values. He changed the way I viewed the world. He changed how I viewed myself. He really inspired me. I stopped drinking for those 28 days. I stopped smoking. And then I started to look at my finances, started to look at where I was spending my time and my energy and my focus. And I was like, I really don't need all this shit. I probably don't need this expensive car that I pay a mortgage payment a month for. I don't need all these expensive clothes. I don't want to be going out every weekend. I was spending anywhere between $200 to $300, which is about 150 to £200 every weekend on shit food, on alcohol, dopamine hits, and so on. And I was like, I could probably reinvest this into myself, because at that time, I'd never really invested into myself. I'd only invested into my businesses, like for coaching. So once that program was over, he had another offer for me, which was his premium offer, right? So I'm going to move into the premium offer now. Just bear with me while I load up my screen. And then he had his premium offer, which was a 90-day program. And this 90-day program was 2.5K. So I went from spending $99 to 2.5K in a matter of 28 days with this guy. And then from there, I went into his Rolls Royce offer, which was his 6K program. And that was for the year. And I continued to stay with him for another 4.5 years. So I spent in total nearly 5 years with this guy and spent around about $30,000 just from one low ticket option. And the beauty of all this is that he sold this all to me and got me to go through this process and commit to him as well without a sales call. How amazing is that, right? If you could remove sales calls from your business, you'd have a lot more time and energy left over, right, to improve your product, improve your marketing, and actually just spend some time with your family. So, first things first is back in 2019, I created my first core offer. And because I've done all this work with my guy, Paul, I also wanted to help men end self-sabotage, in particular, busy men that owned businesses. And I wanted to help them mainly ditch their habits and end their boozing, basically. But once again, I had to give them what they wanted, not what they needed, right? If I was to try and sell a program, say, would you like to quit drinking and meditate and journal and all that crap? Nobody would go for it. So I had to give them what they wanted first, and then on the back end, give them what they need, because I need to get them into my world. So what I did is I quit my personal training job at the time, and I went all in online, and I created a 28-day program. Okay. And I sold it, you're going to laugh, for £28. And my promise was that within those 28 days, they're going to drop their first £10, which was going to help them ditch the dad bod, right? And also, they were going to learn how to ditch that one habit that's creating a lag effect in their life. So I'm giving them what they want, but as well as a little bit of what they need. And in return, they would get their mojo back. And I called this program the Alpha Mojo 28. And Alpha stood for accountability, leadership, personal standards, health, and aligned action. And that's what I was then selling on the back end. And because this program also had a guarantee that if you didn't lose the £10, okay, within the 28 days, you got a full refund. Plus, I wired 28 quid to their bank just to say sorry. So the worst case scenario is that they got to the end of the program. They got a great experience. They met some new people, but they didn't quite get the result that they wanted. And they got a full refund and they netted £28, right? And you don't have to do something as low ticket as I did. But if you see the bigger picture, this is what led to me creating financial freedom. And nobody got a refund, by the way, because there were conditions that they had to meet. And these conditions aren't to trip anyone up or take advantage of anyone, because if they meet the conditions, it facilitates the result. So, for example, in that 4-week block, every day they had to check in with the group. They had to post their food, so they hit their calories. They had to do X amount of workouts, right? They had to do a review every single Sunday. They had to attend certain calls for accountability, hit certain step targets, right? And if they did all of this stuff, they lost £10 or more and they got their alpha mojo back. So everyone was happy. And if somebody didn't hit the criteria, then they didn't get a refund. And that was all in the terms and conditions. So how I created the offer was I just created a few steps. So this is how you create an offer, okay? So you've got the current situation where they are right now. And then you've got a few steps that they need to go through so that they're winning. And once again, going back to the rocks and boulders and pebbles, the market at the moment, believe it or not, even back in 2019, wasn't that big for men that wanted to journal, that wanted to meditate, that wanted to be more honest and vulnerable with their wives, right? The market wasn't that big. It wasn't even that big for men that wanted to cut out alcohol and things like that. But the market was huge for men in the pebble problems that wanted to ditch that dad bod, right? That wanted to just lose those £10, that wanted to feel more energetic. So this was the closest route to market. This was how I was able to meet people at the current level of pain and discomfort. And by doing so, there was a bigger pool of people in the market, right? Because we need to remember a few things when it comes to our market. And it's just 3 circles, right? You have to think, what is the validity of the market? So are there people out there, like, do they have money to spend? Are there more than like 30,000 people that have this problem? Can you actually find them and know where to find them? Are they on social media and do they use it? And a few other things. Then you've got to look at, like, do you actually have a skill that you can help them with? And for me, I did. I was a personal trainer for several years beforehand, and I'd already gone through my own self-sabotage battle and managed to go booze free for a year. So I was skilled in it. And then lastly, like, am I actually interested in the market? Which I was. Like, I wanted to help good men become better men because I had done the same. I was really, really passionate about it. Okay. So when it came to creating that offer, each of these steps, so step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, for example, these all represent problems. So there's 4 steps for a reason, because it was a 28-day program, 4 weeks. And in each week, I was going to help them solve a problem. Because when people have problems that they don't perceive that they can solve and they become obstacles and they become hopeless, this causes pain. And the way that we convey value is by solving their problems. Because the more pain you can alleviate, the more value that is present. So you alleviate pain, you become more valuable. And if you help people solve their problems, then they'll be willing to pay you to do so. And if you do it well, you'll get rewarded handsomely. So we just wanted to solve each problem. So step 1, for example, was helping them solve like their food. And then step 2 would help them solve their exercise. Step 3 would be helping them with like motivation. And then step 4 would be like habits. And this was the promise of value. Plus, we had a safety net so that if said prospect here falls, they'll bounce back and they'll be better off than when they started. Okay. And that's how we get buyers' confidence. So when it came to promoting this offer, I started off, and I recommend you start off by building out a warm list. So this was everyone that was in my phone book that I knew I could help. This was everyone on my social media that I knew I could help. This is everyone in my gym I was working in that I knew I could help. This is everyone I had on an email list. If I had a community, okay? And I created a case study offer. And the reason why I framed it as a case study was to create urgency, okay? And how this went was I spent 14 days prospecting. So I gave myself 2 weeks. So if I was going to start again today, I'd say to myself, by the 28th of November, this program is going to start. And what I did is I got my phone out and I voice noted, video message, and text every single man that I knew I could help with my program. And it went along the lines like this. So, hey, John, hope you're doing well, brother. Hope the family are keeping well. I just wanted to share something with you that I'm extremely excited about. This may benefit you or benefit someone else. This is what we call a sideways sales pitch. So I'm beta testing at the moment a 4-week program that's helping men drop 10 pounds in just 28 days, ditch a bad habit like smoking, drinking, or complaining, and get their alpha mojo back so they've got that motivation and energy for work, themselves, and their family. I'm looking for a few more case studies to help in exchange for a radical discount. Would you like the details or know somebody that would? And I blasted like 1,000 people with this message in 2 weeks. And at the end of it, 80 people said yes. And you probably think to yourself, Russ, did you really jump on like 300 calls to get those 8 yeses? No, I didn't. So what you want to do is when people reply yes to this, you want to build out a proposal. Okay. And you can do this on a Google Doc. Okay. So you can do this on a Google Doc. And this is just a proposal that speaks to their pains and problems, speaks to their desires of where they want to get to, makes them aware of their current pitfalls, and then for each pitfall, the solution to that problem and how you're going to help them, and then an overview and skeleton of what the 4 weeks are going to entail, and then the radical discount that you're promoting, and then you send it away. And if you want to go one more step further, you can go and grab a Loom account, so loom.com, and you can do a video voiceover with this to put even more emotion and analogies and excitement into it. So that saves you time. So every time someone says, yeah, I'd love the details, you just send them the proposal. And then when they say they're in, you just send them a link on Stripe, for example. And then from there, they pay you. Okay. So it's very, very simple. And what happened was in this 6-month timeline, we had 500 plus men go through this process. And at the end of that, they all got an upsell. And the upsell was to our premium program. So this is your premium program. So this was a 90-day program. And we sold this at the time for $997. Okay. And then after that, on the back end, we had our Rolls Royce and our monthly recurring revenue. So our Rolls Royce program on the back end was 5K, or our monthly recurring revenue, which was a group program, because I wanted to build a freedom business. So I didn't want to be stuck in one-to-one because then I'm just basically trading time for money again. And I wouldn't recommend you do so if you're starting a business, because we start a business for freedom. We don't want to create a job. And then that one was at just £99 per month for the next 12 months for the group. And at the end of that, we had just over 100 clients paying us. And then that equaled to 12K a month on monthly recurring revenue. And I was like, wow, this works really well. So I retired my wife from her job. And then we did the same for a women's program, helping women reclaim their confidence and their body back after having kids. And I did the exact same thing again just over 18 months ago. 18 months ago, like February last year. And I created a program teaching coaches, teaching course creators and consultants how to build a freedom business in less than 4 hours a day. And this is what I do now for a living, right? And this all started again with a core offer. And my core offer was a 6 week offer, once again, hitting my market where they're at right now. And it was to help high ticket course sellers and program sellers double their close rate and handle objections. So it's like an objection handling sales workshop for 6 weeks. And I blasted 300 coaches in 2 weeks with the offer. And after that, 83 people said yes. And then while I was then coaching them, this is the secret as well. While you're coaching these people, you keep asking about their pains and problems. So I was solving their pains and problems when it comes to selling. But while I was coaching them for them 6 weeks, I was asking about what else do you need? And they said, oh, I need help with how to create offers. I need help with how to target my niche. I need help with Facebook ads and so on. And then the offer, this is why I'm saying offers are king, help me build my next product for them. So that when the time period came at the end of the program, and then there was an upsell, I knew exactly what they wanted. So I was like, here's my offer for you guys. And they're all just like nodding, I need this, I need this, I need this, because I know they need it and I know they want it because they told me from coaching them. Like your customers and your market will give you all the answers that you could possibly need to building out grand slam offers and products that they'll buy over and over again. So that when it came to me selling it, okay, they were like, yeah, this is perfect. And I gave them an offer they couldn't refuse. And this is how I built single-handedly and with the help of my wife, 3 online businesses to 6 figures. And every time I've done it within 6 months. And you can steal this, you can do this exactly step by step. And once you've messaged all of your contacts, which is stage 1, messaging, you then want to start posting content about your offer. Then stage 3, once your content's banging, you want to then run paid ads. And then once you've got your core offer, you want to condense that core offer into a 7 to 14 day mini course and give it away for free inside a community. And the reason why you want to do this is because you're going to beat everyone when it comes to the value game. So the reason why, as I said before, like you're only marketing to the 2 to 3% is because you're trying to get the people that want to buy now. But what about the 97 to 98% of people that you're not marketing to and your competitors aren't marketing to either? So if your competitors aren't marketing to these, then there is a bigger pond with even more fish that no one is casting their rod. And this is how you rig the game. So once we had our core offers built and we got ourselves to our 10K months, we just gave the core offer away for free, but in a 7 to 14 day mini course. And then we built our communities to like 8,000, one we built to like 6,000 and another one to 12,000. And what ended up happening was, it's because we gave this stuff away for free and we gave more value than anyone else. Like look at Alex Hormozier, for example. The reason why he's winning so much in business is because he's the king of giving away free value. And the more value you give away, the more money that follows. So we give away all this value for free. And inside of that community, we was able to dip in and out at will with our offers to either book a call or to join our program, sign up link, so on from there. And we were making 10 to 15 sales every single week on repeat because this ends up becoming a money watering hole. Okay. And just to give you an example of this while I've got you here, and thank you for following the video so far. And if you've got value from this, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Okay. So just to give you an example of this, so we use the school platform for our program, okay? I'm not trying to sell you into school, by the way, but we have a free course, okay? So we built this out a few months ago, and this is called our Leadership Lab free community. And inside this free community, they have access to learn exactly how to do what we did for free, okay? And we give away the first 2 weeks for free. So how to make your first 20 sales online, how to build it out, the offer, how to get leads, how to sell, how to convert. Plus, there's a few bonuses in here as well, like our community cash system, which teaches how to build your own free community so that then you can upsell to people the same way that we do. And we give away, there's got to be at least like 2 to 3K's worth of value in here completely for free. And what this has done over the last 3 to 4 months, as you can see, we've got like 371 members in there. That is converted into 43 clients that are paying us all without a sales call. Because all of my competitors, all of your competitors are just badgering people in the DMs, are getting them on a call, trying to beat them into submission. But we sweep in there, I sweep in there, and you can sweep in there with nothing but pure value. When we run our ads, when we run our content, when we do warm outreach, we just say to people, we've got an offer for you that you can't refuse. We've got nothing to sell you. We have a 14-day free mini course, and it teaches you exactly how to generate 200 plus leads for your business every single month and convert at least 5 to 10% of them into high ticket clients. If you'd like it, send me a thumbs up and I'll ping you a link. If not, totally cool. I hope you have a good day. And we get an 80% response rate from that with our outbound. We get, 10 to 15 people a day requesting to join. When we run our ads, people take us up on it. We get low cost per lead. And when these people come in, we're just attached to the process. We give away value. And what this mini course allowed you to do is build clarity with your audience. And what I mean by clarity is that they understand clearly how you help people and take them from zero to hero, how your unique mechanisms work, how your systems work. And then they can compare it to what they've done before, which then moves on to number two, which is certainty. And when they've got certainty, they're then saying to themselves, I can see these systems working for me. And then all you need to do is engage with these people, give them more value, show them proof of you can do what you said you would from your paying clients and promotional offers every now and then. And then when they do jump on a call with you or they do engage with you, they are red hot and ready to buy because they've got no like and trust and they've got that clarity and certainty. And this is how you rig the game. And this is how you zig while others zag. So in summary, make sure that you've got 4 offers inside your business: a core offer, a premium offer, a Rolls Royce, and some continuity, which is the back end for reoccurring revenue. If you're struggling to sell your high ticket offer at the moment, it's probably because you haven't built enough know, like, and trust with your audience. There's something called Google's 7-11-4 rule, which Google states it takes someone around about 7 hours of your content. So they have to binge on 7 hours of your content and see and follow you over 11 different touch points in 4 different locations to build enough trust to even want to reach out, let alone buy your products and pay you. So how you rig the game is by turning that rented attention online into your owned attention in a community with either your core offer or your minimal viable product or something for free. And then that will then funnel those people over time to becoming your monetized audience. But your core offer can be a 4 to 6 week program that solves their pebble problems. By solving their pebble problems, it will expose the rock problems. And that's where the upsell comes. And this can all be done without sales calls. It builds an Ascension model where your clients ascend themselves. You meet them where they're currently at and you keep giving them what they want, because people aren't going to pay for things if it's worth the money. They're going to pay for things if it's worth more than the money. And then from there, you can start using things like paid media to boost stuff at scale and build a team. Because as I said before, the golden rule is not to try and sell your product. It's to create an environment that makes people want to buy your product. Okay, so it's not about that. It's about getting them to feel like they want to at least move to the next logical step. So I hope this has been valuable. Give me a like, comment, subscribe if it has, and tell me what your biggest takeaway was. And you can steal this. Like I said, watch this on a replay. And if you do want the step-by-step process, then there is a link in the description and it shows you exactly how to do this in our free mini course, ironically. And yeah, there's no strings attached. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.